Hello and welcome. You are tuned into Litovia TV in collaboration with LambTV. My name is Diana Mwenda. Now, to get well acquainted with both these channels, do give them a follow. LambTV is on TikTok, Facebook and YouTube. And do subscribe to Litovia TV on YouTube and on your screens, channel 96 on Topstar. Now, today we get to discuss everything books, prophecy, wisdom and value. And to discuss that, I am joined by Pastor Israel Lubuto Ngosa, first-time author who recently launched 4 books, among them 6 Kinds of Knowledge, The Mystery of the Edge, and 17 Forms of Money, which is the center of attention today. Pastor Israel, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you so much, audience.
I love the fact that you are a first-time author. Let's not take that away.
Yes.
So you recently launched your 4 books.
Yes.
On the 7th of September,
yes,
which is a month ago.
Yes.
So just run us through the whole process of you writing these books till the day you launched the books. What was the journey like?
I always believe to say you are influenced by your environment. I am a member of the Revolution Impact Church. That's my spiritual father's church. So the time I got acquainted with him, I found that he was an author. He has wrote a number of books, one of them, How to Know the One to Marry. So after reading it, I don't know what happened to me. I feel like it was some sort of impartation of some sort. I got inspired to say, okay, if he can write, I can write. Okay. And I fell in love with writing. Mostly it was writing what you're going to preach every Sunday, to doing Bible studies on your own and filling diaries. I couldn't count how many diaries that I filled. Okay, then I said, okay, maybe let me move to a laptop. Let me write the sermon, put it in a Word kind of document and everything. It still didn't work. I'm like, okay, let me find a way of storing my ideas. Not just for me, but also for the next generation. And that's where the passion came from writing books. I would always find myself stuck in one revelation. For example, you'd be reading the book of John, you're reading how God sent Christ to come and die for man's sins. But as you read the next verse, another revelation pops up. Now, it was somewhat difficult storing revelations in diaries. I'm like, okay, let me start putting each revelation, building up on it and putting it in a book. And I think that's how I found myself here.
Okay, nice. Now, today we're looking at the 17 forms of money.
Yes.
So before we get into the intricacies of the book,
yes,
looking at the introduction,
yes,
it says this was a prophecy that
correct,
was given to you by God,
yes,
that prompted you to write this book.
Correct.
So how long did it take for you to get the word of God and begin to work on this book?
I think it should be 2021. I just come from South Africa. I was a student of the Forex market, and I went to learn from gurus there, and the Lord told me, no, go back to Zambia and start ministry. I actually didn't want it, right? Like, also Moses never wanted it, and I fought it. But I came regardless, and it was a very troubling financial season for me. I was struggling financially, and I kept on praying for money. Lord, give me money, give me money, give me money. And I had a dream. In the dream, a being appeared to me and told me something. He said, Israel, that's not how the world works. Money is not something you pray for. Money is a measurement of value. That made me sit at the edge of my seat. I'm like, what is that? That's how, when I woke up from the dream, I then began to research. And I found myself so deep in that information that was just flowing. I'm like, what is this now? Okay. God told me something like, you can't be broke. I'm like, no. It's like everything he said was breaking each part of my brain, scattering me in all corners. What do you mean? And that's what I explain in this book. I don't want to preempt your questions, but that's how I found myself there.
Okay. Now,
yes,
the title itself is very powerful.
Yes.
It's very eye-catching.
Yes.
17 forms of money.
Yes.
Proof that being broke is a choice.
Correct.
So there's 17 forms that you've highlighted in this book.
Correct.
But I want you to pick out 2 forms that are very crucial, especially in this generation.
Okay.
And why?
Before we get there, I would like to talk about something very interesting. Many people think money is just fiat currency or what you call paper money, right? And that's what I thought. And that's what I kept praying about. God, give me money. God, give me money. God, give me money. Until he says, you must understand how the world works. So this then also threw me into studying what is money. It is something that many people don't actually look into. It's something the education curriculum of the world doesn't look into. It's something that maybe you would only learn in some sort of business school or finance school at a higher learning institution. But when I went deeper, I then got to understand what people say is not exactly what it is. For example, someone says they are broke, right? What does it mean to be broke? Let us begin from there. They mean they don't have paper currency. Yes. But let's go back to the history of money. What is money? Because there was no paper currency before. So if then we are saying someone is broke, they are broke of paper currency, are they broke in the context of the 21st century, or they are broke in the context of from the time the world began? Okay, so then that throws us into what we are referring to. Money has got 17 forms. Or these are what I can only call the different forms of money, okay, or the different ways money exists. Sometimes some people are financially rich, okay, and they are not asset rich, okay. Sometimes people don't have money and they think, I need capital for my business. Not really, and this is what I go into. For example, one form of money is relationships, right? Sometimes you have the idea, but you don't know what to do with the idea. You want to start a business, you want to get into a project, you want to push some agenda. You only have the idea, you are the visionary, like almost every visionary just has the vision. But then you have venture capitalists who can fund the idea. The question now is, it's not where you can get the venture capital from. Do you know the venture capitalist? That then becomes very, very crucial. So you hear people saying this in a laissez-faire way to say, do you have connections? For you to have a job, you need connections. What is a connection? A connection is a relationship. Okay. So then, if we go then to the nitty-gritty of money, money is a medium of exchange. Okay. Money is a store of value. If we say it's a medium of exchange, it means you have something to give me, I have something to give you. If we then box it to you have paper to give me, what if you don't have paper? Okay. What if what we have is a relationship, and based on that relationship you can then give me? The Indians love this, even in the country Zambia. They are mostly involved in supply companies and everything. They would go to the source, get the good, bring it, sell it, make the money, and then send the money. Did they use money to do that trade? No. Not the money people think. They used trust. So one of the things I teach in the book is that many people think that I'll step on people to get to the top. What you're doing is that you're limiting the forms of money that are at your disposal. You have killed the relationship, that is a form of money. You have killed trust, that's another form of money. Okay. And once you lose this in the business world, it then becomes very, very difficult. And this is how people find themselves. You're always looking for a new client. You're always, because you thought if you take a good late, you don't consider time, the way you speak, your attitude, you lose all these facets of money which people do not really understand. And you don't necessarily need fiat currency to transact. Show me who you know, I'll tell you how much is in your bank account.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So much wisdom.
Yes.
Huh? Okay. Now, your target audience is not just Christians per se.
Correct.
You are targeting different kinds of people.
Yes.
So how do you strike a balance between not being too spiritual, but at the same time, you're still mentioning God in it, you're still mentioning prophecy in it, and you're able to still grab the attention of different kinds of people?
It is very difficult to separate life from spirituality. It may not be the same spiritual source, but it is still spiritual. For example, Islam is spiritual, right? Hinduism is spiritual. Even Satanism is spiritual, okay? There is always a spirit that is the genesis of some movement of some sort. Now, is money just for Christians? No, it's not. Money is for any Jim and Jack, okay? In that context, if we are talking about something which God calls do not compare me with unrighteous mammon, which is money, don't compare me with money. It means automatically God has made in some way, okay, for lack of a better term, he has made himself equal to money in this realm. What God can do in the universal realm, money can do in this world. So then if money becomes some sort of a ruler or a prince or a god of this world, how then can we interact with it? It means that every religion or faith finds itself under this, and money becomes a universal dialect of some sort. Okay, so this kind of a teaching is not a religious teaching. It's a universal teaching. If you spend money in your faith, this book is for you. If you talk about money in your faith, this book is for you. If you talk about money at home, if you talk about money to your girlfriend, to your wife, to your husband, this book is for you. It cuts across religions.
Okay. Yes. Now, as an author, you also learn as you write.
Correct.
So, from this book, what has been your biggest take?
What you think you know, you don't know. The world doesn't work the way you think it works. I think that has been my biggest take. I thought that fiat currency is everything. I thought you go to school to graduate with a degree and you get a job. And this book taught me that you can go to school not to graduate with a degree, but to create a network of people who are also going to graduate one day and be in the workforce, who you can take your application letter to. So it teaches you to say the world doesn't really work the way you think it works. It is more of an intricate matrix kind of a system. It is more diverse, okay? And that is really from the top of my head that I can really pick to say, I thought I knew. I don't really know.
This is something I love to ask people, right?
Mm.
Because when you talk about something,
you
also need to partake of what you're talking about. Obviously, you have your own experience.
Correct.
So this book highlights, like I said earlier, values, prophecies, so much wisdom. There's so much to take from this book.
Correct.
So from your own experience, after writing 17 Forms of Money, what would you say has changed in your life so far?
I have learned the importance of value, okay? kgs measure weight, okay? Newtons measure force, money measures value. The more you interact with the knowledge of money, the more you can't ignore the word value. And value is what gives birth to one of the other books called Sought After. That's where now I shift from the money focus, I now deal with value. Okay, so what we are handling in this book is the measurement itself. But what it's measuring is not what we're handling in this book. What it's measuring is what is in the other book called Sought After, which we'll handle later. Okay. So it really changes how you view things. I don't just see money as a medium of exchange. Now I see it as a measurement of how much value you have. Okay. So if someone says, if I asked you right now, how much money do you have in your bank account? You say $2,000. $2,000 is a measurement of your market value. Now, this must be understood. I'm not saying you are not valuable to your church. I'm not saying you're not valuable to your family. I'm not saying you're not valuable to your community. I'm talking about marketplace value, okay? In the marketplace, economically speaking, how valuable are you? Meaning, how wanted are you? How needed are you? Thinking of yourself as a product. So that has shifted my mindset. I now think of myself as a product. Am I wanted? Am I needed? And by who? I think that.
Lovely. Yes. Now, before I let you go,
yes,
there's obviously people that are wondering, where can I get this book from?
Yes.
And
yes.
how do they contact you? So just let us know, where can people buy these books from, and how do they get in touch with you for more information?
The books are available on our website, www.lambnationchurch.com. The books are also available. If you want me to sign it, okay, before you have it, we are sending both soft copies and hard copies across the world. Okay, you can contact our admin's office at lambnationchurch@gmail.com. You can contact me directly, Israel, at lambnationchurch.com. You can also come to church, Mika Convention Center. We meet from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. every Sunday. You are not coming to attend the service, you're just coming to get the book, right? There is a sales desk, right? In case someone says, no, but I have my own church.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem. You can just come and say, I've just come to get the book. I have my own church. No problem. We are very much flexible.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, within 60 seconds,
yes,
what word of advice would you give to the young people out there in regards value?
Okay. One, where you're born from doesn't matter. You can be born from the most poorest family, okay? What then matters is this knowledge that I'm going to give you. And I was where you were. Broke. I didn't know what to do next. I didn't know where money to buy my next clothes was going to come from. And this is what I learned. What you need to focus on is increasing your value. What skills are you able to bring to the marketplace that can be exchanged for money? Secondly, how many relationships have you created? Especially if you say, but Pastor, I don't have fiat currency. I don't know what to do. I'll tell you the starting point. The starting point of money is relationships. Who do you know? You are one person away from a millionaire. Let me explain. You might know this person who is broke, but their uncle is someone that is connected. If you truly want to become someone that is valuable, if you truly want to become someone that is wealthy, okay, you must understand that money is diverse. You can be cash poor, but relationship wealthy. This becomes very, very important. We read from Trump, right, that to begin his business, his uncle gave him money. The question now is, also from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. This one, it's not now his uncle, it's the father to his friend. Can you adopt somebody who can give you the cash that you want? If I ask you this, what is money? You say in the bank. You say it is in a mobile wallet. Who put it in the bank? Somebody. Who put it in the mobile wallet? Somebody. We don't start pursuing money by pursuing money. We start to pursue money by pursuing relationships. How good you are at managing relationships is how good you will be at managing money, fiat currency.
Pastor Israel, thank you so much for joining me. We look forward to more reads.
Please, please, please. And I hope you have gotten the book.
I have.
Okay, thank you.
I have. There you have it. So money is not just paper. It could be value, it could be your influence, relationships, and even legacy. The thing is, it's up to you to understand and find out more on what money truly is. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Diana Mwenda.